So this is ZX Ignition, and I have to tell you, there's something special about animated kid shows that features the main characters having a special partner to fight alongside of them, whether it's Pokemon, Digimon, oh crap, there was like a lot of them, Blue Dragon. Sometime there, man, I remember a lot of different animes, but I keep forgetting the names of a lot of them. That always features that bond between kid and monster right next to them. But this one, ZX Ignition is no exception to this, and it kind of does the same formula as usual. Monster meets human, tries to understand the human a little bit, but has bumps on the roads along the way. But it makes this chemistry-filled show that both the human and the creature start to really understand each other, and this show does a pretty good job of it. It hit a little bit of a curb for me a little bit on the first episode when it introduced the entire premise of where the monsters came from and what kind of situation everybody is in, and did a future foreshadowing for events to come, and then just rewound back to this the present moment where everything's like just getting started for the featured events afterwards. That's usually a good thing to try to do to catch the audience's attention, but it does have a risk involved to like confuse the hell out of people. But this one kind of went both ways, but I'll talk about how this show is. It starts in modern day Japan, where everything's all calm and as usual, when all of a sudden gigantic black orbs start appearing all over the world, including Japan, along with the strange creatures that start to wreak havoc on the humans. And afterwards, the creatures start to realize that they need what's called resources in order to survive in the real world. My guess is these resources are like energy that allows them to exist in this plane of existence, and they need the humans' help for that. And the way that some people control the creatures is special cards called ZX cards. And this is already sounding like a gateway to a card game fandom right here. But it's not going to go that route. I assure you. At least I hope it's not going to go that route. But after all that's described, they introduce the main characters called the first one being a male college student who is very lighthearted, caring, and very laid back in a sense, called Asuka. I apologize if I pronounce the names very sloppily, but these names are kind of hard to nail down the first couple of times. But Asuka comes across a maiden in a very fancy kimono, and is given a ZX card and is told to capture one of the monsters, I believe. And by chance, he does come across one who, known as Verta, who is an angel who fled from the white world, home of the angels, because of the prejudice that the angels hold towards the humans. And but in doing so, she actually has come across another character known as Ayase, and her partner from the Black World, known as the Black Blade Sager, a panther with wings and a crown, and jagged swords coming out of its back. Coolest thing I've ever seen, honestly. But she wants to exterminate all the angels because her parents were killed by a group of angels that are supposed to be guardians to, or is held as great beings of worship and all that kind of stuff. So she wants vengeance on all of them and wants to wipe them all out from the face of the earth. And one of the fights that Asuka and Ayose have are interrupted. One of them is interrupted by the next character known as Azumi. I forget her last name. Azumi and her partner known as Regale, who is a cybernet, and I have no clue how to describe this. I guess just a regular android from the blue world, whose bond I actually think resonates stronger than any of the characters introduced right now, since her partnership is very, very deep, because Azumi was about to die from an illness that has no cure whatsoever. So the residents of the blue world gave her medicine in order to fight against this illness, on the condition that she be partners with an android that just to help on their cause. Their partnership is to help each other, of course, and they care deeply about each other as well. I've only reached up to episode 4 on this show, and even though it did have a rocky start in my vote, it still actually resonates to be quite interesting. I'm looking forward to more of the characters to show up. I haven't seen it was the little girl with the red Tyrannosaurus Rex. I'm eager to figure out what kind of world they come from. And there's also a couple of serious characters. They didn't really show much of an impact as to where their angle was, but enough to really get me interested. And I'm also curious as to what this full-scale war is going to escalate to, since clearly the angels are involved in this, and I guess it's going to be something that it's going to involve both just the humans and their partners versus the free monsters themselves who want to probably take over the world. My estimation is that the manga that started this whole thing was not in fact called ZX Ignition. It was first called Zillions of Enemy X, and I haven't read it, but I have seen some of the pages from it, and excuse me if I don't recall any of it, but it seems to be that the full-scale war actually turns the world into a post-apocalyptic place. So ZX Ignition might actually take place into a little bit further predating the apocalyptic war that is about to occur. So I'm going to keep track of this a little bit more, because I'm really interested in how this is going to play out in terms of character development and unique character design as far as the creatures are involved. There is another show that has referenced this a little bit like ZX Ignition, which is called Buddy Fight. Stupidest name I've ever heard, I know. But I've taken a look at that show as well, and it doesn't look bad. It's clearly for kids. And it's featuring another card game from Bushiroad, the same guys that made Cardfight Vanguard, and they made Buddy Fight clearly for a more easy, an easier experience to get in the mojo of playing card games. Probably to really market Cardfight Vanguard to get people more interested in it. And there's no harm in that. I mean, I was hesitant towards Buddy Fight, but it does actually have some semblance to it, and it does have that same chemistry towards having a partner that's not like you at all, yet can relate to you in some areas. For instance, Isa and her partner Black Sager are completely different, but Sager is very laid back and very but very active in the role of fighting. I mean, he doesn't give a shit about the whole vengeance duty that Isa obviously has, and he just wants to throw the battle and to get stronger in general. They haven't really revealed anything about Sager's past, and I'm really interested to figure out what it is that really wants him to become stronger. Fira and Asuka is their bond is clearly different from everyone else's, and Asuka has this very positive attitude that wants to make other people happy and risk his own life to prevent people from dying, or creatures for that reason. Hence the turn of events that made Fira and Asuka partners. Now, Fira doesn't really have any experience in the outside world as far as relating to humans or anything like that, but she has that state of mind that, yeah, she's an angel, but she's not above everybody else in general. Or she doesn't really, she's prideful of her heritage, but she's not gonna go out and stomp on a dude on his face and say, "I'm more superior to your kind. You must worship me in all of my glory," or anything like that. I mean, she has these new life experiences that she's being exposed to thanks to Asuka, such as she loves to take baths now, even though she doesn't need to. She's exposed to delicious meals, even though she doesn't need to eat or anything like that. And just that overall feel of being exposed to brand new things just can bring people closer a little bit more. Azumi and her partner definitely resonate a little bit stronger than everyone else, since their bond is based on a life or death situation. She needs her partner in order to pretty much stay alive, and her partner needs Azumi because it's part of her mission, of course. So I'm really curious as to what this is going to turn out to as the war is starting to creep up on everybody else, and see where it all ends up. Hopefully, we'll get some more interesting characters and creative plot twists that occur. So that's ZX Ignition. I'm hoping to tell you guys more on what I think about this show, and see you guys on the next Anime Talk show with the Anime Dude.